Welcome to an interview with Staking Rewards at the Staking Summit. What brings you to the Staking Summit?
Oh, I am in love with the staking, but with the liquid staking, by the way. To be honest with you, I think we are trying to fix what native staking is.
Okay.
Because if you look several layer ones, the mechanism for staking is normally not user friendly. So I think you need a liquid staking protocol, and that liquid staking protocols tend to be almost infrastructure. Let's say, for example, Metapool is what liquid staking should have been in NEAR from the start, if you like.
Yeah. Cool. And just before we continue, tell us about who you are, what's your name, where are you from, and then we'll...
Okay, I started selling first. My name is Lucio Tato. I'm based in Argentina. I've been coding for more than 30 years. I'm very old for the space. I see all
never too
very
old,
young for
never too old for crypto.
I am in a couple of weird spaces. One is the age, and the other is that I jumped into crypto in 2020. At the end of 2020, I was waiting for a nice proof of stake chain. I've been following crypto since the start, like I guess every coder has been following crypto. I let Bitcoin pass because at the moment it was like, okay, this is for shady deals, crazy things. Okay, I don't know how it will go. Okay, bad idea. Second thing I let pass was Ethereum.
Yeah.
Because when Ethereum launched, there was so much hype on top of it. People were saying, okay, this will change the world. This is looks like vaporware for me. That was another big mistake.
Yeah.
Because you people who enter early on Ethereum are in a very nice position now. So after those two mistakes, I say, okay, the next wave that for me was proof of stake, I will jump with 2 feet. So as soon as NEAR launched, I was looking at NEAR, at Solana, and this is the two most promising proof of stake chains. So I decided to jump into NEAR, and I did a Chrome extension wallet for NEAR. That there was no one. I did it first, and then I started doing backend programming, smart contracts.
Yes.
And this is like scratching your own itch, because when you enter layer one, the first thing you get is a native token.
Yeah.
And the first thing you do is to stake it.
Exactly.
Because why not? I want the reward.
It's rewards. Yeah.
And then you start suffering the interface for native staking.
Yes.
That is a pain in the ass in all layer ones that I know.
Yeah.
So to scratch my own itch, the first thing I did was a liquid staking contract for NEAR.
Okay. And that is Metapool.
That is Metapool. That is Metapool. But I just coded it, most of it. But to be honest with you, I'm a good coder. But in order to launch a product, a coder is not enough.
Yeah.
I think that the code is...
You need a lot.
I think code is 40%. If you ask the coder, he thinks that the only thing important is the code. No. You need people to able to create a community,
Marketing.
people to able to marketing, to raise, to really launch, to execute.
Yes.
I have the good luck of meeting Claudio.
Yes.
I'm based in Latam. I'm based in Argentina. Claudio is based in Mexico. He was running the NEAR Hispano guild, so all the Latam community he was leading into NEAR.
Yeah.
So
that's how you guys came together.
Yes.
So,
I meet him. I say, okay, this guy has all the talent that I lack.
Yes.
So please help me.
Yeah, no, it's the power of partnership, right?
Yeah.
So talk us through how the technicalities behind ST-NEAR, right?
Yeah.
So someone comes, they deposit their NEAR, they receive ST-NEAR. What's happening in the back room? Talk us through that.
Yeah. This is something that is a differentiator for Metapool. The problem with proof of stake is the following. People tend to stake on the first validator they see.
Yes.
And normally you have all the validators listed by stake.
Yes.
So that tends to a concentration.
Exactly.
And if you concentrate a stake in a proof of stake network, you are making the network weak.
Yes.
Because, for example, if 33% of the stake resides in the first validator, you only need to stop that node to halt the network.
Exactly.
So that's another bad design of staking on proof of stake. You need to have an interface that avoids what people normally do, that is a stake on the first one, on the big one, because if everybody's staking there, I will stake there too.
Exactly.
That's a bad idea.
Exactly.
So what we do is the following. We take the user near, and we have an automatic validator scorer that is checking the performance of all the validators and the ones that are providing the best APY and have a low commission, we send near them.
And how many validators is that?
Right now we are staking like in 86 validators.
Oh,
We have
really
7.5 million near. We are the number one liquid staking, and we are distributing that between 86 validators.
Okay.
And right now we are trying to avoid the concentrated one. So our idea is to expand what is called the Nakamoto coefficient.
Yes.
The Nakamoto coefficient is a very, very interesting term that everybody should know. It is the minimum number of nodes you need to attack and stop to halt the network.
Yes.
So when we started, that number was 7 in near, and now it's more like 11, 12.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, that's really good. And so, why like not all liquid staking protocols are the same? So how is Near separating itself from the others? Right?
Yeah.
Is it just the copy, or how
No,
do you
no,
guys
no.
differentiate yourself?
to be honest, the big elephant in the room is Lido here. Lido started in Ethereum and now it's moving to other chains. They are moving to Solana, they are moving to Near. What we see as a problem is concentration. Because if Lido ends up being the main liquid staking protocol in Solana or in Near, you will have a lot of people making decisions in Ethereum. You will have ERC20 token holders deciding on the security of Solana and Near.
Exactly.
So we think that's not a good idea.
Okay.
At the same time, in Ethereum, that's the worst offender on native staking.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah.
You cannot even withdraw. Who the hell designed that staking? That's awful.
Yeah.
So they need to, Lido needs to have a backroom deal, have a shake hands with each operator, because they need to control the stake. In Ethereum, the validator owns the stake. In Near and Solana, for example, it's way better. You can delegate funds to a validator, but doesn't mean that the validator owns your funds.
Yes.
They can do nothing. They can just validate, and you can remove your stake whenever you want. So Lido is coming with a bad business model. They were forced to use on Ethereum, and they are coming into Solana and Near. So we didn't want that.
Yeah.
So what we do, and we do the same in Marinade. I am involved with Marinade, that is the number one liquid staking Solana. So I have experience in the Near ecosystem and in the Solana ecosystem.
Yeah.
What we do is the following. Instead of us or somebody making a deal and deciding where the stake goes, we have this automatic program that is measuring the performance of all the validators and then distributing the stake to the best ones. And this is totally automatic, and there's no one involved. So if you are performing well,
You get chosen.
you get stake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are simplifying the life for the user, because the user doesn't have to know about validators or stake accounts or where is my stake. That's another big problem.
Yeah.
If you're a user, for example, and you get into Near, and say, okay, you need to stake. First, how do I pick the validator? Okay, let's go with the big one. The problem is that after that, you need to be monitoring that, because if the guys for some reason
Stop
stop validator, you get no reward. So that's another thing that the user won't do, and we do automatically.
Yeah, that's great. And so ST Near has a slightly different design to, for example, STE. So talk us through that. It's not rebasing. It's got an interesting property where you can't actually depeg. Talk us through that and that design and why that's important for users to understand and really get a hold of.
Yeah. There are two things in Ethereum. One is the fault of Lido, the other not. The first one is that Ethereum doesn't allow you to withdraw yet. So in Ethereum you get the STE and forget about it. You will not get your Ether at least for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But one thing that Lido did wrong is that instead of creating what is called a C token, they created a rebasing token. What does it mean? For example, you give them 10 ETH, you get 10 ST and every epoch they give more ST onto your wallet. That looks reasonable until you start to thinking, okay, how do I use my ST? If I put my ST in a pool, what happened? Oh, the rewards will go into the pool.
Yeah.
That's a disaster because the pool is not ready to receive deposits from a liquid staking. So what we did in NEAR, for example, is instead of giving you more STNEAR, we increase the price of STNEAR every 15 hours. We have a site that has statistics, and if you see there's like a ladder, every 15 hours the price of STNEAR is increasing, like clockwork. That's a very nice property, and then you can use the STNEAR in every place in DeFi. That there's no problem because you are still the owner of the STNEAR, so the rewards will come to you.
Yes. Okay. And why is that important with depegging? Like.
Oh yeah,
so
that is the other. Yeah. In Lido, in Ethereum, this is not a problem for Lido. This is Ethereum. In Ethereum, since you cannot withdraw, if there's a let's say high demand for Ether, people will start selling ST for it, and in that market dynamic,
there's a depeg.
There's a depeg. There's a possible depeg. There was a depeg a couple of months ago.
Yes.
That was a bigger scare.
Yeah.
In NEAR and also in Solana, you can withdraw. That's the beauty of it. So if you have a STNEAR and you want the NEAR, we have a function that is called delayed and stake.
Yes.
When you get when you put the STNEAR, we burn it, and after 4 epochs, that is the native waiting period that we cannot avoid, we give you the NEAR. 100%, no fee, no slippage. So the beauty then is that all STNEAR is backed by NEAR that you can get in 4 epochs.
Yeah, that's such a great property.
Yeah. So we have a true price for STNEAR.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because since you can convert all STNEAR in the market into NEAR, there's no possibility of depegging.
And what's your thoughts? We recently did a study on the liquid staking landscape, and we found that there's been a lot of talk around liquid staking, but if you look at the numbers, the uptake is still very low, right? So, for example, on NEAR, it's only like 3.5% of the total staked value. Why is that? What do you think people are waiting for?
No. We are showing how much of these layer ones is really retail. Because we have a very big community on NEAR, people understand our narrative, people want to make NEAR more decentralized. So all the individuals that have some amount of NEAR are already liquid staking.
That's interesting.
What we have now, the rest of the people, those are institutions, early investors, or people that has NEAR but is still locked. So what we are going to do the next year is to provide a path for institutions to start using liquid stake.
Why are they not using it now? Why are they holding back? Is it liquidity?
No, when you start dealing with institutions, we start dealing with let's say, people that are very risk averse. You start dealing with compliance, with lawyers. So
yeah, it's not as easy for them to just.
Correct. You need to support custodial services. Yeah. So that's what we are doing now. Okay. Getting custodial services on board and convince institutions that the contract base is almost negligible. Why? Because we have been running for 14 months with 7.5 million NEAR. That's a very nice bounty.
That's a nice number.
And we have had no incident. So that tells you that the contract risk is almost zero right now.
Yeah, that's great. That's really good.
Yeah.
And so your thoughts on liquid staking going forward? Do you expect the uptake of liquid staking to grow to 80, 90%? Or what are your thoughts on that? Like, how high do you think we'll go?
No, I'm not so optimistic. I think we will be able to convert some institutions, but there's also a range in institutions. You have old money, people that got NEAR really early, and there are big funds, and in order to move them into liquid staking will take a lot. And you have small funds, crypto native funds, and they will go into liquid staking as soon as all the regulatory landscape is set.
Okay, so you believe like the biggest hurdle right now is just that regulatory hurdle, and as soon as that's clear, they'll step into it.
But we will see a small growth.
Okay.
We won't see an explosion during the next year.
Yeah, so do you think it's just the gradual rise of this technology and the uptake of this technology over time?
Correct.
Okay, cool. And your final thoughts on anything you'd like to share with the community? Any final thoughts?
No, to be honest, I'm very thankful of the community.
Okay.
We launched, my experience in Solana is the same. If you are really a community-based project and you explain your narrative and you explain what you're doing and you are pro decentralization and censorship resistant, I think we got most of the people in love with Metapool and with Marinate because they understand what we are doing.
They do. Yeah. You guys are doing a great job.
Oh, thank you.
All right, cool. But thank you so much.
A pleasure talking to you.
Enjoy the rest of the staking summit.
Okay.